So who's been stuck on an interview question? Like just absolutely had no idea what the answer was, even though you should have? Yeah, I have, and it sucked, yet I still got out of it. And I'm going to tell you the exact story and how I recovered, so stay tuned. Hey guys, it's Brian back at you with another video where my goal is to help you find a rewarding career and to help you create a life you're proud of. And if you're hungry for videos on effective job search tips and career growth strategies, then you know what? This is the place for you. So be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. I'm going to be sharing a story of that time I didn't know the answer to an interview question. And I'm going to tell you exactly what happened, what led up to it, and how I got out of it. And so to start, some context for you guys. Now, if you don't know, my career foundation is in regulatory affairs in the food and dietary supplement industry. What's important for you guys to know was that during this time, FDA actually introduced new regulations to update the labeling requirements on the nutrition facts panel. They changed things like formatting, font size, as well as like how to calculate the percent daily values. And yet during this whole time, FDA was still receiving comments. So technically it wasn't finalized. And in addition, I was at a director level at that time and overseeing a team. And we were gauging the situation very closely to see how these new rules would impact the business on a high level. So we were just doing an assessment at this point. We weren't going into the specifics. So that's the background. So now let's fast forward to the actual interview, and it was with the VP of Research and Development, of which I apparently stood her up once already. Now this was an absolute mishap in scheduling, and I was actually in Israel on vacation and just going back and forth with the company and asking them for the interview on the Monday that I'd return home. I was on a 3-week vacation. Unfortunately, the VP's assistant scheduled it on a Monday where I was still actually on vacation. And because I was on vacation mode and had really buggy reception, I really wasn't paying attention to the invite when it came through my phone. I just saw the invite come in. I was excited to see it. I just hit accept. And that was a big mistake on my part. I mean, the VP ended up waiting for the call for at least 30 minutes, and I never called her as it was actually 3 a.m. Tel Aviv time. I was fast asleep. She was not impressed at all, and it's totally understandable. I mean, she is super busy, and the fact that she made time for me was a huge thing, and I did not call her. We rescheduled. It was a misunderstanding. I got it all sorted out, but we scheduled it on the Monday of my return. So I was jet lagged, in vacation mode, and the first Monday, I think we landed on the Saturday, something like that, and then going into an interview on the Monday probably wasn't the right thing to do, the best thing to do. I was incredibly rusty at this point. And to complicate things even more, because why not? It was a phone interview. I mean, first of all, the lady opens up asking me why I stood her up. So right then and there, out of the gate, it was not a great way to open up the interview. And second, with the phone, sometimes you just can't hear each other the best, right? And in this case, she asked me a technical question and used the acronym NFT, which stands for Nutrition Facts Table, whereas I heard her say MFP, which at that time, I don't know what MFP means. It has nothing to do, there is no acronym in my world. So here I am clumsily trying to clarify what she means by MFP when she's thinking, holy crap, this guy doesn't even know what NFT means. Now we get that sorted out, of course, and soon enough, she hits me with a very technical question, and that is, can you tell me what the new daily reference values are under the new labeling regulatory changes? Guys, I know I'm getting technical here, but bear with me. The daily reference values are the values used to calculate the percent daily values that you see on the nutrition facts table, like calcium, vitamin D, etc. So here's the thing. I had no idea what the answer was to this question. I had no idea, no clue what the specific number was, because I didn't do the day-to-day label reviews, right? I was overseeing the team. I was looking things at a more business level, at a higher level, a strategic level. So I didn't know the answer to this, and there was no way I could Google it on the phone as I was under a time crunch and I didn't want them to hear keyboards clacking away. Of course, I don't want to lie to them, so what do you do? What did I say? Well, I had to acknowledge the truth. but it was really important that I spin this as fast as possible. So what I did was I told her straight up that I didn't know the answer to that, as my current role is a director level role, and I led multiple teams under different divisions, under different countries and territories. And as a result, I wasn't handling the day-to-day items such as specific daily reference values. I then mentioned that while the regulations are for the most part set, that FDA is still receiving comments, and that we were curious as a business as to how the new regulations would impact things like nutrient content claims, and its definition around added sugar wasn't set, so how would that impact labels as well as marketing? So the intent here right away was to show that I was paying attention to the regulations, but to a different part that could also impact the business. And I want to throw in that regulatory jargon so that she knew that I can actually speak the language. So I immediately, and that means there was no pause in the sentence for a moment for her to actually speak. And I said that it's always been in my nature to not shy away from rolling up your sleeves. And that this new role required that, such as knowing the specific details like daily reference values, which in my opinion, I don't think you really need to memorize it, but as long as you can access that information on a moment's notice, then great. But I was saying, hey, you know what? I'd be glad to get into the foxhole with my team. And it's always been my approach since day one. And that is how I got promoted through my career. I mean, working hard, getting down and dirty, no problem here. And I'm totally all open for that challenge. And really the intent here is to emphasize the potential and eagerness to learn and to get going. It was a bit of a tricky and shaky moment, but obviously it helped, and in the end, I did get the role. Now here's the thing with this question. It was a technical competency question, of which this tactic actually works. But if it was a situational or behavioral type question, and you're still stumped, in that case, guys, you're pretty much SOL, because you have to be able to answer those situational questions like the interviewer throws at you. And if you can't, and I've seen this happen to those I've interviewed before, it just means you didn't practice hard enough. And speaking of situational or behavioral questions, I want you guys to watch this video here on how to properly answer that type of question and why the STAR method has its weaknesses and may not be the best way to do it. Guys, if you have a question or topic you want me to answer in a future video, just let me know in the comment section down below, or go to my website, 101mentoring.com, and submit your question to me that way. Thanks so much, guys, and until next time, cheers.